Hey everybody, welcome back. James Blackburn here. Thanks a lot for tuning back in to another episode of The Good Howdy Show. It's currently December 31st, 2012. Right now, check it out, 11:59 p.m. That means we're in the last minute of the year. I wanted to bring this moment with you and share it with you when I got my lady Karen back here.
Happy New Year, everybody.
And we're celebrating this moment together. Earlier we saw a band play that was awesome. Check him out. I believe his website is ryanmcgarvey.com. Excellent show. We really enjoyed it. And we wanted to share this new year with you. So here you go. It's midnight, so it's officially 2013. So Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks a lot. And stay tuned for the rest of the episode because I got a surprise coming for you and an interesting experiment on this one. So thanks. Now we're going to go outside and get some fireworks and some gunshots because we still live in the Old West. I don't know if you can see me or not, folks, or even hear all that, but Albuquerque loves to celebrate with gunfire and fireworks, so I'm going to let you enjoy some of the sounds. One thing about Albuquerque is the folks out here love to party, and the way it sounds tonight on New Year's Eve is pretty much the way it sounds on 4th of July also. It's great. I love it, and people just come together as a community out here and really enjoy themselves, so that's about it. See ya. Thanks a lot for tuning back in, everyone, to episode 3 of The Good Howdy Show. Now, you just got done watching my New Year's Eve thing that I did with my lady, and now what we're going to do is move on to a new subject matter. Over the last couple of weeks, I haven't done a lot of movie jobs. I've been doing a lot of editing like I always do, but no actual movie jobs. So what I'm going to do now is share with you my first movie job. We're going to do a flashback for that all the way to 1997. With the movie The Negotiator, made by, well, I don't know if it's made by Warner Brothers or distributed by them, but they're involved on it somehow. Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey, and directed by F. Gary Gray. And I guess the best way to start the story is to tell you how I got hired on the movie in the first place. Let's travel all the way back to the early to mid 1990s. I was a young man working at a clothing store. And I worked with a young lady there who was hired to be in the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. She actually played Harrison Ford's daughter that gets abducted. And I thought it was really neat that she got to be in this movie, and I've always loved movies, always loved acting, and wanted to try it. So I asked her, how did you do this? She gave me the information of the casting company in Chicago, and at a later date I contacted the casting company, and they hired me to work on The Negotiator. Okay, so what you just watched now was how I got the job on the movie The Negotiator. What I'm going to tell you about now is the actual day of work on the movie. First thing was my call time was 5 p.m. that day, and I got off at 5 a.m. Had no idea that movies shot for 12 or more hours. I was clueless to that at the time. It was downtown Chicago on Wacker Drive, and it was in a nighttime shoot in October. And it drizzled rain, and it was windy and cold all night. It made it for me personally, it was a very miserable shoot. I was there the whole time. I never saw any of the film cameras at all, and somehow or another they still managed to film me for a few seconds. But yeah, it was very interesting, very neat, and very tough. So they brought me down the set after we were in holding, and I was there for about 5 minutes, and we're at this barricade that, where the police are holding back the spectators during the standoff. And a PA comes up to me within 5 minutes, and if you don't know what a PA is in the movie business, that stands for production assistant, grabs me and this red-haired lady and says, "Come with me." So he takes us down the street about a block, and we go up to a prop truck, and they hand the lady news reporter gear, a microphone, a notepad, a walkie-talkie, that kind of stuff. And they handed me a press pass and a camera, like I'm supposed to be the news camera guy and she's the reporter. So that was kind of neat. I was very excited. I got picked, out of all these people to get an extra little special part. So we filmed that scene, and that's pretty much all we shot, was one scene all night long. Okay, so I believe what I heard that night was there were 1,500 background extras in this scene, which is a massively large scene to organize, so I'm impressed with the filmmakers to pull this off and make it look great. And was there for 12 hours, and I made it in the movie for about 3 or 4 seconds. So what we're going to do now is share the clip with you. Okay, this first part is just the movie poster, but the picture after this is all in black and white except for me. I'm in full color still to kind of attract your eye to where I'm at. You'll see the actual clip from the movie and you'll know where to look for it. There I am.
What else could I do?
So that was my first movie, The Negotiator. Got 3 or 4 seconds of FaceTime there with a handful of other people in the shot. Be honest with you, I'm very surprised I made it in the movie at all. As I said before, I didn't see any movie cameras there other than the one I had on my shoulder, and it didn't function as an actual camera. As a matter of fact, it was very, very heavy, and I asked them, why is this camera so heavy? I mean, it was really a good-sized camera, the kind you sit on your shoulder, and they said that the guts of the camera had been taken out and replaced with nothing but batteries, so that the little red recording light and the big white spotlight on top would stay on for 12 hours. And I thought it was neat at first that I got that, but after about 3 or 4 hours of trying to hold that thing, weighs 50 or 60 pounds on my shoulder, it got tiring and achy. So that night went good, but it was cold, miserable weather, and the heavy thing, and just my first movie getting educated. To be honest with you, it stopped me from doing another movie for 7 years after that. Almost killed my movie career because it was such an intense situation to be in with all the cold and the dampness and everything, that I really didn't think the movie business was for me at that time. So it was another 7 years before I decided to do another audition. So when they gave me the camera from the prop truck, they also gave me a press pass to make me look more official. That is this thing right here. I don't know if you can read that or not. It says City of Chicago 1997 temporary press pass. And at the end of the day, I was wearing this around my neck when they took me back to the prop truck, and it's just like this. And I had a jacket on, and we completely forgot I was wearing it. I started driving home, and there it was, still on me. So it was too late at that point, so I got to keep a souvenir from the movie, but it was not intentional. Now this next piece right here, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it says Uranus level 7, or as we used to pronounce it when I was a kid, Uranus level 7. This is a parking pass for downtown Chicago, where Karen and I, my lady, went to park for this movie for that night. And you grab one of these pieces of paper off the thing to remind yourself where you parked at, because the parking garages in Chicago are massive and there's tons of levels, and you would never remember. It'd take you hours to find your car. So press pass, parking pass. That was the two things from the movie I still have left other than the clip. So yeah, I would say that the movie The Negotiator, for me personally, was a great learning experience. As cold and miserable as the weather was that we experienced all night, it was a great lead-in for me on how the movie business worked, how they shot stuff, how they organized stuff, how they lit stuff in a big city scene like that. And it was pretty neat. If you ever watch the movie, watch the scene when they're flying 2 helicopters between the buildings. We were actually there for that, and it was really neat to watch that. It was cool. Samuel L. Jackson, Kevin Spacey, The Negotiator. Check it out. Okay, for the 12 hours of work on my first movie, The Negotiator, where I played a news cameraman and somewhat of a background extra, when I got my paycheck a couple weeks later after taxes, it was almost a whopping $60. Wow. So yeah, background extra pay didn't pay very much back then. It's gone up since then, but I don't do background anymore. I try to just do crew stuff and actual speaking acting roles. So thanks for watching, everybody. And as usual, if you have any questions and or comments, please feel free to leave them. Eyeballs looking right at you.